We built this city. We built this city of rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city of rock and roll. Say you don't know me or recognize my face. Say you don't care who goes to that kind of place. Knee deep in the hoopla, sinking in your fight. Too many runaways, eating up the night. Marconi plays the mamba. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Unrelenting Alchemist. There are people who take their craft as the unraveling of others. They don't wield knives or guns, but something subtler. Ridicule, doubt, rumor, or calculated coldness. Perhaps even your energy. You see, they may use that against you in your own way, trying to take your power and make it their weapon of destruction in your life. You see, their aim isn't to kill the body, but it is to drain the fire in the soul. You know them when you meet them because you walk away dimmer than before, second guessing your worth, replaying all words until your confidence fades. And these are the professional assassins, destructive spirit personalities who thrive on diminishing the light around all that is in their grasp. Their weapons are varied, but the strategy is consistent. Target belief. They want to undermine your conviction, whether it's a calling, a dream, a simple sense of belonging. By sowing whispers of you're not enough or you'll never make it, they set up shop in the quiet corners of your mind. And once doubt roots itself, the assassin can retreat, letting the victim do the rest of the damage. You see, it's a parasitic art, and the currency is despair. Like a passing critic of a clumsy friend, the spirit assassin is deliberate. They study the weakness. They mark the vulnerabilities and they push at them until they bruise. They smile while they do it because their power isn't in confrontation. It's in the things behind your back. It's in corrosion. The most dangerous ones hide this respectability, these bosses, these mentors, these family elders, these leaders whose words supposedly carry weight, and in those positions, their ability to crush potential is magnified. But also be careful that there are the incubus and the succubus as well. They're out there trying to steal your sexual energy and use that against you too. Why do these spirit assassins do it? Some move out of envy, unable to bear another's rise. Others operate out of fear. If you grow it, it threatens their control. Others simply just watch the world burn, their sadistic craft of pulling wings off of butterflies. And some, quite frankly, it's just money they've been promised. It's just some type of reward they've been promised because they're mercenaries deep at their core. And as a result, it's just a job. Spirit assassination is projection. They destroy others to avoid confronting the wasteland inside themselves because you have to admit, to take up that kind of a job, you've got to be some kind of a person. The cost, however, is very high, and the victims of the spiritual sabotage, they may spend years rebuilding confidence. Us that have been targeted by these spirit assassins, it may take years for us to put our lives back together. The assassin never swings an axe, but the damage is as real as any wreckage. What dies isn't the body, but the belief that life can be expansive and worth fighting for. And even, too, as they take your energy force, they're using it to wreak bad luck, unfortunate events in your life. They're trading their karma for your dharma. They are leaving you with all of the worst luck to befall you as they spend your dharma as currency on having the better life that they would like. The antidote to spiritual assassination is recognition. You have to name the attack for what it is. You have to rob it of its power, rob it of its secrecy. Community helps too. When others affirm what the assassin is trying to erase, the target regains strength. Ultimately, the assassin only wins if the victim consents to silence and isolation. Refusal to bow is the greatest act of defense, but even some in the throes of isolation can fight back because some are not victimized by the isolation. Some grow their power in the isolation. Some have spent their lives learning just what it is to be isolated. And so you don't let them define your worth. You reveal the deeper truth. The spirit, though fragile, is also the hardest thing in the world to kill, to break. In other words, how would we do this? How would it even be possible that you could somehow survive this, but yet you can, even when they're the kind of person who can just become a narcissist on command, even. Perhaps they have no soul, but they become what the moment needs. They call on the dark entities to assist them in this regard. And so they might be masters of psychology. They might be masters of being able to put that heavy, dense energy around your ankles, weighing you to the ground, not allowing you to be great, not allowing you to rise. And so what happens here? This is not creation. This is not construction. This is destruction at its finest. And all they want to do is take you down and suck you dry. Their mission being completed, they can move on to their rewards. They wear masks. They wear masks because, like a mere critic or toxic personality who shows the same face every day, the spirit assassin is protean. They shift and adapt depending on the situation, taking on whatever guise will give them maximum effect. With one person, they are the charming confidant who slips in subtle put-downs. With another, they present as a stern authority figure who knows better. To a third, they play the wounded victim, guilting their target into submission. Their shape-shifting nature makes them particularly hard to identify because their mask is always tailored to the context. Psychologists might very well describe this as a form of instrumental personality, a set of behaviors enacted not because they are authentic, but because they are effective in making them look real and manipulating others. This adaptability mirrors some traits of narcissism, but it's not fixed to a single grandiose identity. This is narcissism truly on demand, cold detachment as needed, warm mirroring when advantageous, pitiless cruelty when the moment calls for it. They do not live in this skin full time. They might even wear your skin and pretend to be you. And your unsettling intuition, your alarm bells go off. This is almost otherworldly. It is as if dark entities are whispering cues, providing them with the exact persona needed to corrode the soul of their targets. What is the drive behind this unheralded destruction? Well, the natural question arises: why devote so much energy to sabotaging others instead of building something for themselves? For some, the motive is very clear. It's envy. Seeing others' growth or joy ignites the resentment they cannot contain. Perhaps they are triggered. Perhaps childhood issues they've never dealt with are in fact brought over again and again. So assassination is a good way to take one's mind off of that, to allow them to feel superior in the moment. It's a sport. In psychological terms, their behavior combines elements of sadism and projection. Sadism in the sense of deriving satisfaction from causing destruction and harm, but projection in the sense that they are projecting what they lack in themselves. It's because they never dare to pursue their own dreams. When they ridicule someone's love, it's because they cannot hold intimacy. What emerges is a portrait of a very hollow person who fills that void not by building, but by dismantling. Their adaptability only strengthens the illusion, allowing them to continue the cycle without suspicion. If one admits the spiritual dimension, it almost seems as though their emptiness attracts even more darker forces that happily co-author the cruelty that they would like to inflict. You see, this is an invisible violence, and the victims of this quiet war, they pay dearly. Unlike physical injury, the wounds of spirit assassination do not appear on medical charts. Instead, they manifest as years of second guessing, poor luck, bad fortune, stolen opportunities, a shrinking sense of self, a world that seems like it's collapsing around one. Careers stall, relationships wither, creativity evaporates, not because the victim did anything wrong, not because they lack potential, but because it was stolen from them. This is a theft of futures, a robbery of possibilities. In terms of psychology, this is learned helplessness. After repeated exposure to uncontrollable negativity, a person stops trying even when new opportunities arise. You see, the spirit assassin thrives on creating this condition because once a victim internalizes the helplessness, the assassin no longer has to do the active work. The victim maintains their own cage. This is why spirit assassins are so dangerous. They outsource the labor of destruction to the victim's own mind. It's almost as if the most efficient cruelty imaginable allows them to turn the victim's own beliefs, leaving their hands squeaky clean. Not everyone breaks, though, under such pressure. Some who have been targeted learn to recognize the patterns and refuse to bow down. Instead of collapsing inward, they grow stronger, they grow sharper, they grow more discerning. They identify the masks, they spot the tactics. They refuse to let them land. These survivors emerge with a resilience forged in fire, carrying scars that function more like armor. They become the ones who can name the game, and they can dismantle the assassin's power, and they don't allow themselves to be subject to this torture anymore. Adversity, while destructive, can catalyze profound strength. Survivors can develop a heightened intuition, a deeper compassion, and an unshakable clarity about who they are, who they will be, and who they have always been. It's not a justification for the harm, but being a catalyst allows them to grow and become indestructible as a spirit. And from a spiritual perspective, one could argue that dark entities, even though they whisper to these spirit assassins, brighter guardians may very well whisper to the victims who resist, providing the clarity spot on to withstand the deception and to give them the antidote of recognition. Because these shapeshifters, once their game is up, there's not much they can do. Their band of flying monkeys can't win forever. This is not my failure. This is someone else's attempt to sabotage me. The fog lifts. The community plays a crucial part here as well. When others affirm the truth the assassin tried to erase, the isolation ends. The target regains strength. Silence and isolation were the greatest allies of the assassin, but connection and affirmation become the greatest allies of the victim. And so this restoration of agency causes the victim to grow yet stronger, and now they will not fall for this a second time. There's a resilience. There's a power to walk away. There's a power to set boundaries. A power to not let your body be used sexually for reasons that you don't approve of. Even though these assassins are still shapeshifters, their magic no longer works. The audience sees through the trick. They now have to go back to the shadows they came from, realizing that everyone is onto them and their reputation has been ruined. Their legacies were built on the subtraction of others, but while they might spend their lives manipulating their masks, at some point there's no warmth, there's nothing inside, they're hollow, there's no substance. Their victories are temporary, and eventually when the curtain falls, they are revealed as losers, empty vessels who never lived their lives. For the rest of us, resisting them is just about survival. And so we reclaim our power. We continue the dream. We live fearlessly. And we know when sabotage is coming for us and how to defy it. Our spirit proves itself to be indestructible. And the assassin can't understand why the destruction that was once easy now is failing. And your quiet resilience is the greatest force of all that is teaching them lessons. Most High God, creator of all life, we lift our hearts to you in gratitude and awe. Michael Archangel, shield of the faithful, stand guard over our souls and lead us in the strength of divine light. Mayat, bring our balance, truth, and justice, align our steps with the harmony of the cosmos. Kuan Yin, Bodhisattva of mercy, soften our hearts with compassion, teach us the strength that is found in our gentleness. Buddha, awakened one, show us the path of liberation and the stillness beyond desire. Dharma, sacred teaching, guide our minds to wisdom and illuminate the way of truth. Sangha, blessed community, strengthen our journey with fellowship, support, and shared devotion. Most High God, source above all names and beyond all forms, you are the breath within our breath, and you are the light behind every flame. You weave the stars into the courses you desire, and you hold the oceans firmly in their boundaries. You teach us how to live in your rhythm, to act with justice and to walk with reverence. Let every thought and deed rise to you as a sacred, profound offering of truth. Amen, amen, and amen. And if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I love you. God bless.